everyone! Welcome back to Creative Movement with Lizzy. Thank you so much for joining me for this ballet basics class today. I'm hoping that if you're new to ballet or if you're not so new to ballet that we can just go over a couple basic moves and basic terminology because I really hope to do some ballet in the future with you guys. As you can see, I am at my home studio, as I'm sure most of you are as well. But this video is still for you guys. This is brought to you by GiGi's Playhouse, and I'm so excited that I get to do this with all of you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so one of the very first things that every dancer learns in ballet is that you have your 5 positions, or 6 sort of. So if you have both your feet completely turned in, we call this parallel or 6th position. So it differs wherever you go, but this is 6th position. That's what I like to call it. And then if you take your legs and you turn them out, this is called 1st position. Now notice how I'm not like sticking my patootie out. You're trying to keep your spine in line with the rest of your body. You have to try and engage these lower abdominal muscles. And whenever you do any ballet, actually, you need to feel like a string is pulling you both ways. We call that opposition. It's feeling like what part of your body is going one way and the other part is going the other way. And that's kind of how we get those nice long lines. So basically in 1st position, you're just going to try and lengthen. And your turnout is also something that's super important in ballet. It doesn't matter if your turnout is here or here or here. It does not matter. I've been doing ballet for a long time, so my turnout is just it's a little more turned out than some other people's. But basically, the most important thing is that whatever you do, you are engaging these muscles. So these muscles right here, we call those your inner thighs. And then these muscles we call your outer rotators. And kind of what you want to happen in ballet is you want to feel like your legs are like wrapping. See, like if I relax it, but then if I wrap like that, then I'm fully supported, I am lifted, I can lift the balls of my feet, or I can lift the heels of my feet. So that's really important to make sure that you don't sustain any injuries during dance, because that is the #1 thing that I like to stress. Whatever we do in any of these classes, I make sure that you guys are being safe. So if there's something that you think that you just can't do in your space or something that's hurting, don't do it. I mean, just don't do it. But anyways, so that's just kind of how you're supposed to be. So that was using 1st position as an example, and there's still 4 more positions. So the next position is called 2nd position. 2nd position is where you just open up your hips a little bit, okay? So like 1st position was here, and then 2nd position is here. So I just widen my legs, and your arms are usually what we call a la seconde or en bas. So they're to the side of you, and what my dance teacher likes to tell us is that we have Star Wars arms. So there's the one scene in Star Wars, I don't know if any of you watch Star Wars, I'm a geek, so I do. But basically, it's when they're trapped in the trash compartment and they're like pushing the walls away. Well, that's actually a nice line, because if you push your arm and then you just soften your elbow a little bit, that is the perfect position for an arm position. So you're trying to reach away without being chicken wing. I have a tendency to chicken wing, so I'm sorry if I do that in this video. Alright, so that's basically 2nd position. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to take one of your foot, this is my right leg, it would be your left leg if you're mirroring me, and you put that slightly in front of the other one, okay? So it's not completely crossed over, it's kind of like this heel is touching like the middle part of your other foot. So that's what we call 3rd position. And then we have what's called 4th position. So just take the leg that you have in front from 3rd position and put it out there. I don't know if you can see, but there you go. That is 4th position for you. So if you can see from the side, it's an open position, kind of like 2nd, but instead of to the side, you have your other leg to the front. So that's what we call 4th position. That's also a very dangerous position. I'll get to that just a little bit if you don't take care of yourself. But the final position that we have is 5th position. So 5th position is where, if this was 3rd position, this is 5th position. You cross your feet all the way over, I still have trouble holding a good fifth position sometimes, so I don't think we're gonna work in fifth position too much today, but we're just gonna go over those one more time, and then I'm just gonna teach you some basic moves, and then hopefully we can put them together. All right? So we have first position, second position, third position, fourth position, and fifth position. All right, if you need to pause that and go over that again, I will be using those terms a lot in the future if we do any more ballet videos. So if you want to pause and go back, go ahead and do that right now. But if not, we're just going to keep going. So then some basic moves that we have in ballet. One of the most used moves ever in every ballet class, or every ballet anything basically, is called a plie. And that's actually used in a bunch of different styles of dance too. It's not exclusively for ballet. So basically a plie is where you just bend your knees. But the thing that's most important, and the thing that I still struggle with sometimes, if you're not wrapping your muscles, then your knees are going to go right forward. And this is a very dangerous position to be in. What you're going to try and do, which is the proper technique and the way to keep yourself safe, is you're going to try and take your knees and go to the sides. You're going to try and do what my teachers tell me is knees over toes. Okay, so instead of that, and kind of like a relaxed position, try and crank those knees back. And again, it doesn't matter about your turnout or anything. Whatever turnout you have is completely okay. But wherever you are, if you're here, you want to make sure that your knees still try and go over your toes just to keep yourself safe. So in a plie, you can basically just bend and stretch, all right? Now there's another version of a plie that we call grand plie, and it's basically the same in every position except for second position, because second position just loves to be difficult. So basically a grand plie is where you do a plie, and then you go just a little bit further, and then you come back up, okay? So a grand plie is just a plie, that's kind of like another plie where you go a little bit further, and then you come back up. So that's a grand plie. Now that is the same. You lift your heels in first and third and fourth and fifth position. Now when you do it in fourth position, you want to be very, very careful. We're probably not going to do a lot of work in fourth just because doing a grand plie in fourth position can sometimes be a little bad for your knees. So we're probably not going to do any of that today, but second position is where grand plie differs just a little bit. So instead of having that, because that's just not cute if we're being honest, what you're going to do is you're basically, if this is your plie in second position, that's your grand plie. Grand plie is just a deeper plie in second position. But you need to keep in mind that you're not trying to just drop, because that is, if you can see, which is such an attractive position. You kind of look like a sumo wrestler, and it's not a good position. So you need to go where you feel your hips are still loose, but not too loose. And if your hips feel like completely just let go, you're probably going too far. And again, this is just to keep you safe and make sure that whatever you're doing at home is going to take care of your body while still moving it and working it in the best possible way, which is great about ballet. So that's basically a plie. That was a lot about plies, I know. The next thing we're going to do is called a tendu. And that's basically where you just point your foot. So you can do tendu in any direction. So a tendu would look like that. Okay, so like this is a tendu to the front, this is a tendu to the side. I don't know if you can see, but this is a tendu to the back. And again, we're trying to like maintain sort of a turnout, but it does not matter where your turn is, as long as you are trying to use the right muscles, which takes a very long time to get. I'm just now starting to get it, and I've been dancing for a long time, so it's totally okay. And then kind of another term that we use in ballet is called en croix. So croix kind of sounds like four, like that's kind of what it sort of translates to in French, which is the origin language of ballet, basically. And en croix basically means that you go front, side, back, and side again. So that is what we call en croix, and that is going to be used for a lot of things in ballet. It's one of the most commonly used terms, especially when you're doing anything at the bar, which I am very fortunate to have a PVC pipe bar right here, but for the combination that we're going to do in just a little bit, If you do not want to, if you don't have a bar or anything, a chair works, anything, a countertop, like wherever you are, you will be able to find something. Just make sure that it's not like too low for you, so you're not like doing that, because that could hurt yourself. And that would probably be very strenuous on your oblique muscles. So yeah, just try and stay away from that. But use whatever it is that you have at your house. Make this your class, because that's what I'm trying to do as well. So yeah, so that's a tendu. The next thing that's a basic bar movement, something that you usually do at the bar when you're trying to like warm up for class, is called a dégagé. Or a jeté. I call it a dégagé because I think it sounds funnier. So basically it's a tendu, you just lift it off the floor. So if this was a tendu, that would be a dégagé. Well, let me show you for this. So that would be a tendu, that would be a dégagé. Okay? So like a dégagé, you go out and you lift it off the floor just a little bit. I can do it with this leg too. Okay? So those are dégagés, they're tendus off the floor. Then another thing is a Rhonda Jean. So a Rhonda Jean is basically if you have a circle, a Rhonda Jean, if this is your standing leg or whichever leg it is that you're not moving, a Rhonda Jean makes a semicircle. Alright, so a Rhonda Jean would look like that. You would go front, side, back, and then you can also go back, side, front, which is the reverse. Alrighty, and then what we also have is called quarter Rhonda Jeans. They're basically half Rhonda Jeans, but if you think about it in that circle again, you would only be going from one position to another. So instead of front to back, you might go front to side, which would be a quarter of a circle. So if I were to do that, it may look like front, side, close, okay? Or I could do back, side, close, or I could do side, back, close, side, front, close. So those are quarter Rhonda Jeans. And then the final thing that we're gonna go over before we do a little combination of all of these movements is called a cambre. A cambre is basically bending in a certain direction. So you can go to the side, you can go into your bar, or you can go away from your bar. You can also go forward. I don't know if you can see, but when I go forward, I try not to stick my toot out, because no, that's just wrong, apparently, according to my dance teachers. So you're just going to try and go forward and keep that flat, and then you can also go back. Now, going back, there is something very, very important. You want to make sure that you're not just going back, because that is so bad for your back, and you could actually sustain an injury. And that is totally not the intention of these classes at all. So what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of a breath before I go back. So I lift and then go back. So that way I'm not like crunching my back, I'm going up and back. So a cambre back might look like that. Okay, so just like a little recap of all of those things before we do a little bar combination. You have your positions. You have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And again, these are the exact same things on the other side. We'll get to that in just a second. And then you have your pliés. So you have a regular plié, and you have a grand plié. Again, really trying to work those knees back, keep them over your toes. And then you have your tendus and your dégagés. So your tendu, your dégagé, and then you have en croix, which is just another term that means front side, back side. And then you have your Rhonda Jean, which is painting a little semicircle or a little bit of a quarter circle as well. And then you have your cambres, front, back, side, and side. So that's kind of just the basic terms. We are going to do a short little bar mix of all of those, just to kind of act as a little refresher. We're actually going to use the same song that we just used because it's nice and long. And yeah, it should be good. So the most important thing actually in ballet, especially if you're doing any bar work, is that you do something to both sides, which can sometimes be a little bit of a pain, especially when you're tired, but this is just a basics class. This is just to refresh some terminology if you have danced before or done any ballet before, and this is also just kind of a presentation of information if you haven't. So yeah, so we're just gonna kind of go over that. I'm just gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna be speaking it, and you can also follow me along. So if you'd like to grab a bar, if you have anything like that, or if you have a chair, a countertop, again, whatever you have around your house, as long as it is stable and not too low and not too high, then you should be good to go, all right? So let's just back that up a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna do half the song on, actually, let me start on your right side, because I'm sorry, I have to do everything in reverse. So we're gonna do everything on the right side, then we're gonna have a little time to switch, then we're gonna do it on the left side, all right? All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna start in first position. You're going to bring your arm up, and you're going to open, and the first thing we're gonna do is just a couple combres. So you're going to combre forward, and it doesn't matter how far you go down. I have been doing dance for a long time, so I can go down a little further than some other people. If you can only go here, it's totally fine. So anyways, keep doing your combre. Come up, go up, and combre back. And open your arm to the side, all right? Combre in, come up. We're gonna do some plies and tandoos. So, plie, tendu front and close, and plie, tendu side and close, and plie, tendu back and close, and plie, tendu side and close. We're going to do tendu, close, dégagé, close, tendu, close, dégagé, close, tendu, close, dégagé, close. And we're going to switch it up. We're going to do a Rhonda Jean front, side, back, and close. All right, that's all we're going to do for that side, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, and then maybe just like stretch a little bit, and then we'll be done, all right? So go ahead and switch sides on your chair or your bar, whichever vessel you're using to dance. All right, so we're going to start in just a second. We're going to start with our combres front, back, and side, and then we're going to repeat what we did on the right side, okay? So just hold here for a little bit. Remember, try and stand tall, that opposition. All right, ready? Combre forward. Hold. Come up. And up and back. Come up. Open your arms side. You're going to combre into the bar, or the chair, or the counter. And you're going to come up, and we're going to do our plie tandoos, okay? So you're going to plie and tendu. And again, we're working in first position right now. Tendu, close. Plie, tendu, close. Plie, and tendu. And that was en croix, but we're going to go tendu, close, dégagé, close, tendu, close, dégagé, close, tendu, close, dégagé, close, Rhonda Jean, side, back, close, and then I would like you to take one more final plie. All right, if you want to stretch anything else out, if you'd like to stretch out your back, what you can do is you can just kind of go over like that on whatever thing you're using. You can do a couple stretches forward as well. You can stretch to the side, whatever it is that you'd like to do to kind of let your body go. If you'd like to walk around a little bit, like I mentioned in the last video, just to kind of cool down, you can do that as well. So just go ahead and do whatever else it is that you would like to do. If you would like to replay any part of this video, go right ahead and do anything again if you'd like to, or you can just listen to the music again. I know that I was talking a lot, so that may not be a possibility actually. But if you'd like to do anything again, go ahead and do that now. But as of right now, that is all that I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me today for Ballet Basics. I hope that you had a great time and that you hopefully learned a little something, or if you're a total pro that you already knew all this stuff, thank you for coming anyways. I hope that we can do some more ballet classes in the future because I think that that could be really, really, really cool. But yeah, so thank you for coming. Have a great day, everyone, and remember to be bright, be brilliant, and be you. All right, everyone, bye.